Hi everyone, it's Ella here. It's been a while since my last YouTube video, so I just want to come on here and give you an update on what I've been up to, what I did last year, and why I kind of went MIA, as well as what I plan to do this year for my small business and the YouTube channel. So for those of you who don't know, I am Ella, the maker, creator, artist, small business owner here at Ellaful Deco, and I primarily work with epoxy resin. If you check out my channel, you'll see a lot of epoxy tutorials and a little bit of small business stuff, and that's actually one of the things that I plan to do more of this year. Let me start with what I did last year first. So last year I kind of stopped posting in March, and that was because I started markets in April, outdoor events mostly. They were from April pretty much throughout the whole year. April to June I had 7 or 8 markets back-to-back weekends, so I got really busy with that. And then in the summer I was preparing for my fall markets, which was like September to October, and that was like several back-to-back weekends. In November to December I did a holiday market which was called Christmas Village in Philadelphia, and that was I think like 30 days long, and then I got a couple extra days at a separate market. So for like almost 30-40 days I was vending straight. It was a lot more than I expected, and so I was not really able to manage filming, video editing, and consistently posting. So yeah, that was my 2024, pretty much vending. So for 2025, I want to talk more about markets. That was actually one of the things that I wanted to do last year. The year previously, I did like 8 markets, and I did want to share all of my experience with that. But now I have so much more experience with it. I have so much more to talk about, and I definitely want to share all of that with you. And then going into it, I also want to share more of the small business side of things, you know, like my work area. And I've actually been changing this up. The before of this was very not useful, and this is where I have my laser cutter, my Glowforge right here. And so just to show you more behind the scenes of my workspace, my workflow, as well as, you know, different questions that you may have or run into when you are running a small business. So things like, you know, opening an online shop or shipping and packaging, stuff like that. If you have any questions related to running a small business, you can leave it in the comments and I will make note of it for my future videos. Okay, with that said, that doesn't mean I'm going to drop all of my resin tutorials, my resin content, because that is still part of my business and I am still making all of the stuff for my business. So how I make my things, I definitely do want to keep sharing with you. I also want to expand on it though, because for my resin videos right now, I have just been doing tutorials, and I do want to share more informative educational videos, more on specific techniques and stuff. So I've done a doming video, but my process has changed since my upload. That was like 2-3 years ago. You know, just some updated information and all of that stuff. My flower preservation process has changed quite a bit because of the resin that I use, and just adding more I guess tech into my process. And then I also have a resin 101 class that I am planning right now, and for something like that I want to go over, you know, safety with working with resin, you know, FAQs that you guys have asked in the comments. So I put some FAQs together to answer and just give you more tips and tricks on working with resin. So it's not learning through a project, but just more specific details. Of course, I will still do my tutorials. I also want to incorporate more behind the scenes of different aspects of the projects. Like I have a video out that uses my laser cutter right here to cut out frames for custom letters, and I preserve flowers in those frames. And so I want to show you more on working with the laser for those of you who have a laser, or just to give you more inspiration and different ideas, you know, instead of just resin in a mold. And so that's something else that I want to do. I also want to incorporate experimentational videos. There are lots of things that I want to try. I'm a crafty girl, and so I love working with different mediums. Or, well, I want to work with different mediums, but I haven't yet because I have all this stuff that I have to do, right? But I have a lot of ideas that I want to incorporate into my art, like some texture art, like using texture paste or, you know, heavy body paint and stuff like that. And so yeah, I want to do some more experimentational videos so it's like fun and not just really me being a teacher, because that's not exactly what I wanted when I started this channel. I post a lot of my tutorials and they are tutorial format, but it's mainly to share my process. And so being a teacher was not exactly my goal, even though it may come off like that. And so yeah, just trying to make this a little bit more fun for myself as well. One last thing on my list for 2025 is studio vlogs. I want to connect with you more and just share more of my journey with you. One of the things that I don't really have of my small business journey is documentation of my growth. And so that's because I'm very shy with filming. So actually this is giving me a little bit of anxiety, but you know, gotta do it. And then second thing is that when I started out, I filmed on my phone. I think it was an iPhone XR, and I didn't have much space. And so my process was really film, edit, post, and delete. So that's why I don't really have too much of my older content. And then I've realized that I've been doing this for several years now, I think 5 now, and I don't really have too much of my growth. The earlier things that I've made, you know, to see the difference between then and now and just how much I've grown. I know I've grown and I know I've learned a lot, but it's kind of all in my head and I can't really look back to it. So I wanted to make this YouTube channel a documentation of my growth along with, you know, all the other things that I said, because that is exactly what it is. Everything that I plan to do is a documentation of my growth. But yeah, adding the studio vlogs, I can share with you, you know, what I've made this week or what I've learned this week, you know, some of my experiences, and just a lot more. You know, we can connect a lot more. That is my update, I think, what I've been up to. Well, what I did last year in 2024 and what I plan to do this year. Before I go start filming my other videos, if you have any questions regarding resin art, small business, anything related to small business, vending, or just comments or feedback or anything you want to see in my future videos, let me know in the comments and I will add that to my list and answer as much as I can, give you as much information as I can. So yeah, I will see you in my next video.